WHOW. Top of the morning. Thanks for being with us. I'm your host today, Seth Lawrence. The WHOW Morning Show streams to Facebook and YouTube, brought to you by Peterson Insurance, your Pekin Insurance agent in Clinton. My guest in studio today, Caitlin Mellendorf, nutrition educator with the University of Illinois Extension in DeWitt, Macon, and Piatt counties. Good to see you, Caitlin. How are you?
Good morning. I'm good. How are you?
Yeah, trying not to stick to myself. It's so humid out there right now.
Yeah, and even in studio, it's a little bit.
It is.
Humid.
It is. I turned the. I was reluctant to do so. I turned the AC on in the building yesterday because it was just so muggy, and I was like, "Yeah, we need the air chilled. Yeah, air chilled a little bit." So. Anyway, I'm sure we'll be turning the heat on by the end of the week because that's how it goes. But at any rate, I know you've been busy. We were talking in the break. You've got your cottage food programs coming up. I know registration obviously is closed for those, but just remind us what that program is, what it's all about for you.
Yeah, so cottage food operations in Illinois allow folks to make variety of foods in their home kitchens where they don't need to be inspected by their local health department, and they're able to sell those in a variety of locations, but those popular would be at farmers markets during the summer. And this class is designed as an introduction to the different topics around that. So what is cottage food? What types of foods are you allowed to sell? What things are prohibited? How to work with your health departments, and giving that kind of base for, okay, if I want to get started as a cottage food operator, I've got an idea. How do I turn that into a business? And so this class is here to get you started. So I've got a class this afternoon in Clinton, and my next couple classes, so I've got one next week and the following week. So the classes, registration for those two classes are still open. So for folks that want to come to the Monticello or Decatur classes next week or the following week, registration for those are still open. But it's going to be a good opportunity for folks if they want a little side business, or they've just got this idea for a canned food, a bakery item, a bread, like sourdough is really popular in different markets now, to get that started as a business.
Yeah. How often are you doing these? If someone is, thinking about that, but now's not the time, and maybe they're going to try this, let's say the fall. I mean, how often are you offering these programs for folks?
So right now, this is the only time I'm going to offer it for this year, but we do have a online course. If people want to do the self-paced route, they can go to go.illinois.edu/cottage food, and that will take them to one of the online trainings. We also have a lot of resources online, or if they want to just talk to their health department is that credentialing agency to track all the cottage food operations in the county. And so they can work with their local health department to start that process as well. And those folks are very versed in how to get started, and they'll walk you through any recipes in terms of if there's any food safety concerns on certain products that people want to sell, they'll help you deal with that.
Very good. Good information there, Caitlin. Very nice. And let's move along. I know one of the topics we were going to hit on is vitamins and pairing those. We're getting to the time of year where fresh fruits, vegetables, from various parts of the country are going to be in season. You'll see those in the grocery stores, and wondering if, and I've had this conversation with a lot of nutritionists over the years, is, okay, I'm eating more green beans because they're in season. I'm eating more tomatoes and all the, cucumber and all these things that are in season. It's like, I'm getting the nutrients from those. Do I need to keep taking the, the vitamin C's, the vitamin D, the B12, whatever folks are taking? Do they need to continue that even though they've got a healthy diet of these fruits and vegetables?
Right. So it's always a personal recommendation, right? Your needs and any supplements that you might need to take are going to be different from my needs, going to be different from someone else. And so that's always a really hard question to answer as a broad general thing.
Okay.
But what I generally say is, if your supplements are there to fill in the gaps. And so like for me, I know I tend to just do vitamin D year round. I'll supplement vitamin D because I know that in the winter when the sun is at the wrong angle, and I'm not outside because it's cold and I'm layered up. I've got long sleeves and coats. I'm not getting a lot of sun exposure for that sunlight to convert the compounds in my skin to vitamin D that my body can use. And same even in the summer, I tend to, if I'm going to be outside doing yard work or being, just out in the world, I will tend to put on sunscreen, or I'll wear the UV shirts that kind of block that. So I'm already kind of preventing sunburn, which is good for other reasons, but I'm also then not still not getting that vitamin D. So having that as a supplement, because I can't get that through sunlight in the case that I'm tending to cover up, so I prevent sunburn. And while we have foods that I can supplement with, right? I can add, milk is fortified with vitamin D. Different breakfast cereals have vitamin D added. That I am getting some through my diet, but I'm probably not getting enough. And typically we're seeing that based on like blood draws. If I go to my doctor, I love that my doctor asks when I request to do annual lab work. She'll say, do you want me to add anything? And so I say, well, why don't we check vitamin D? It's been a little while, right, to check that. So supplementing is filling in the gaps. So for someone, especially with our older adult populations, we're often pushing a little bit extra protein just to prevent muscle loss that happens naturally with aging. So we might recommend mixing in a powdered protein supplement to a hot drink, or mixing it into oatmeal or porridge, or even doing a protein shake as part of a meal to kind of supplement a little extra protein. So different stages of life will maybe add a little extra. So we know in pregnancy, we always recommend those prenatal vitamins just to give a little extra boost to fill in any gaps that mama may have while she's growing that baby. So it's very individual. So it's really, it's a good question to look at your diet. Are you getting, as you said, a lot of these fruits and vegetables in the summer months, but even in the winter months, you're still getting those vitamins and minerals from canned foods and frozen foods, but looking at what might be missing. And that has to be a personal kind of discussion with either a dietitian that you want to see or your doctor, or maybe doing some lab work to kind of see where I might be missing some supplements, and then maybe adding those in.
Yeah, for sure. To the point of, like just not getting enough of those vitamins and supplementing that with those supplements. I mean, that's kind of the purpose of them, right? Is that, you may not be getting as much in the daily form of food as you are that you need, regularly. The other one was vitamin C. And obviously in the wintertime, that's very popular because of just the
role in the immune system.
The immune system boost. Thank you. That was the word that was escaping me. It's boosts your immune system. Can we tail back on that vitamin C in the summertime? Maybe take a half a dose instead of, whatever we're doing in the wintertime.
Right. So definitely in the winter, if you're not doing, as many fruits and vegetables, especially if you just don't have access, or your diet doesn't include a lot of them, but maybe in the spring and summer months, maybe you're pulling from a garden or farmers markets, or the stores in your area are just stocking more quality fruits and vegetables that you're going to eat. Yeah, it would make sense that you could probably scale back a little bit on that. And something too, some of our vitamins are what we call water soluble, which means that they dissolve really well in water, and they don't really need anything else other than just water in your body to be absorbed. But the body doesn't tend to store some of these vitamins for long-term use. And so you do need to continue to eat them every day. So something like vitamin C is considered water soluble. So having a mix of fruits and vegetables, your body will take as much as it needs, and then any extra it will discard in urine. So having your fruits and vegetables on top of your multivitamin or your vitamin C tablet might be more than your body needs. And so it might be urinating out the extra, which kind of is that decision of, do I want to focus on the supplement for my vitamin C or the food, or both? And I would argue always go for the food, just because you're going to get other nutrients from those foods rather than just the vitamin C, which is only vitamin C. Try to go for the food first. Is a good idea.
So you're telling us if you're double dosing like vitamin C, vitamin D, whatever, in the wintertime, your system isn't holding on to that. It's discarding it, basically.
Except for the fat soluble vitamins. So vitamin D, so vitamins, there's 4 of them: A, D, E, and K. These are 4 vitamins that are considered fat soluble, which means that they need fat to be absorbed. And these ones the body tends to store a little bit better. And so with those, we do actually see occasional, not common, but we can have overdoses of those vitamins if people take them in very large doses, because the body does store them. So it's kind of a mix, right? Some of them are, some of them aren't. And again, this is where nutrition science gets fun, and I enjoy that, but does add some complexity to this discussion on what are your needs versus my needs. It has to be very individual. So this is where working with a dietitian or working with your doctor can be really helpful. And we have a guest here in studio.
Yeah. I had to bring the bear in today. The AC at home is out, and he's been suffering through this heat and humidity we talked about earlier. So don't mind him. I apologize for that. But at any rate, Caitlin Mellendorf, nutrition educator, University of Illinois Extension in DeWitt, Macon, and Piatt counties. Anything on that supplement and vitamin discussion we didn't put out there for folks you want to get to, Caitlin?
So I like to just reiterate the foods first kind of focus for this. So really look at, are you getting enough food in general? You know, if you're getting a good mix of different foods and you're eating enough for your needs, you're going to get a pretty good, mix of vitamins and minerals. And you probably don't need to supplement really as a multivitamin. You probably can target specific vitamins or minerals like the vitamin D maybe. But we can't make the body perform just on vitamins and minerals. We still need the other things, the carbs, fats, the proteins, which we get when we eat whole foods. And so having that, just eating enough is going to be really great. Supplementing is also important, but focus on those foods first where you can.
Yeah. Is there, if you're taking these vitamins and supplements, but you're not balancing that with a healthy diet, does that negate the effects of some of these?
Yeah, because the body's going to need some of the other inputs, the carbs, the fats, the proteins, because those vitamins and minerals work in pairing with the carbs, the fats, the proteins. And so if you're missing extra carbs or extra fats or extra proteins, those minerals can't really do their job to build tissues or create certain metabolites for your body cells or create new blood cells or do different things. We can have all the vitamins that, minerals added to the body, but if we're not giving ourselves enough food, through carbohydrates, fats, and proteins, those vitamins and minerals aren't going to be able to do the amount of function that they could if we had that right amount of food with it.
Sure. And how much does exercise go into the effectiveness of some of these things we're doing, like taking vitamins and all that?
Yeah. So definitely. So some of our minerals are considered electrolytes, which I think is the buzzword people are hearing now, electrolytes. So things like salts and magnesiums, potassium, these electrolytes are also minerals, but they're needed for different functions of the muscle and the blood and, blood pressure and heart rate. And exercise can certainly drain some of those if you're sweating a lot. We're getting into warmer weather now, so that may be something that people need to consider. But generally, if you're an everyday exerciser, you go, for a walk for 30 minutes, you maybe use a treadmill, you go lift weights. The foods that you're consuming are probably going to be enough to replenish any sweat, electrolytes you've lost in sweat.
Got it.
But for especially getting into like summer practices for high school athletics or for college sports or folks that are training for marathons or other, big races, they're probably going to have to supplement electrolytes because they're going to be really like in that intense practice and performance that they're doing. But for the average person, as long as you're eating a mix of foods, you're going to be replenishing those electrolytes. But exercise can also just help the body use those minerals and vitamins more efficiently. So we know that exercise for folks with diabetes, being able to move the body helps insulin do its job better. And then we have other things like magnesium is important in blood sugar management. Vitamin D, we're seeing some more research around blood sugar management. So having those available, having good movement in the body is going to strengthen muscles, going to strengthen heart health. The muscle allows the body to work efficiently.
Heart health was the big one I was hoping you'd get to. So very good. Well, on that note, Caitlin, let's take a break. We'll come back with some more. Caitlin Mellendorf, nutrition educator with the University of Illinois Extension in DeWitt, Macon, and Piatt counties, our guest. More to come on The Morning Show.
WHOW. Hey, it's Shane from Highway 51 Exchange, your mower and equipment service pros just south of Clinton. Click our banner ad on DeWittDailyNews.com or give us a call to schedule your free pickup and delivery today. Highway 51 Exchange.
Longview Community Bank is now open in Clinton, investing in rural Illinois. I'm Vice President Nate Sams. Stop by for a visit or to find out how we provide real local banking. Click our banner ad at the top of the local news page on DeWittDailyNews.com.
Spring is in the air, so it's time to choose your new Silverado. This is Scott Baum from Baum Chevrolet Buick in Clinton and Farmer City. We have a good selection of new Silverados with springtime savings and special finance rates. Choose from regular cabs, double cabs, or crew cabs in gas or diesel. We're also allowing extra money for your trade on all new Silverados this month. Silverado, together let's drive. See all our inventory at BaumChevyBuick.com, right from the start.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
Ace now offers free assembly and free delivery, so it's never been easier to get a great grill for your family, like a Weber gas grill, a Traeger wood pellet grill, or a Big Green Egg charcoal grill. Only at your neighborhood Ace. Around the block. What you need in stock. With people who know their grills.
This is Brad from Gibson Ace Hardware in Clinton, Illinois. Stop in to see us, The Helpful Place, at 114 North Madison Street, Clinton.
See participating store for details.
AgriTalk is the radio talk show for American agriculture. Hi, everybody. I'm Chip Flory, your host. We join you weekday mornings from 10 until 11 on WHOW, on AM and FM, and on the WHOW streams. We provide farmers and ranchers with timely insights and information aimed at improving their operations. Join me, Chip Flory, weekdays at 10:06 on Central Illinois Ag Station, WHOW.
Your friend in Central Illinois, WHOW.
Once again, a good morning. Thanks for being with us. I'm your host today, Seth Lawrence. The WHOW Morning Show streams to Facebook and YouTube, brought to you by Peterson Insurance, your Pekin Insurance agent in Clinton. Caitlin Mellendorf, nutrition educator, University of Illinois Extension with in DeWitt, Macon, and Piatt Counties, our guest. Caitlin, let's talk. We're a little bit ahead of it, but canning season will be here before we know it. Probably some of these spring vegetables that we'll want to maybe can a few of those. Opportunity to get canners tested through the extension.
Yeah, so I know this is the time of year. Oh man, we could have gone for grilling. We always bring that topic.
Oh,
up.
that's true.
We'll wait for
We'll
next time.
save for May for
Yeah,
Memorial
we'll save
Day.
that.
Yeah, good call.
But this is kind of a good time of year as the weather's warming up. You're starting to pull things out of storage. Pull out your canning supplies, including your canner. And we recommend that all of your dial style canners. So these are the canners that have what I kind of describe as like a clock face. So the gauge has a needle on it that moves in time to pressure. And obviously when pressure goes up, the needle goes forward. As pressure drops in the system, it goes lower. And that needle can get shifted over time just with use. You lifted it off, it hit the counter, and maybe it just shifted a little bit. And so getting that tested, make sure that the gauge is reading accurately. And we recommend that doing this once per year as you're canning. And it's a free test from any of your extension offices. We've got a list on our food preservation website at go.illinois.edu/food-preservation. And we'll list all the counties that are currently offering testing. So this is a free test. Takes about 15 minutes per lid and gets folks that accurate information to know if they need to adjust anything during the canning process or if their lid is, spot on. Okay.
Now, again, the popular canning season is, August, September, as we get to the end of that vegetable growing season. Do you do this again then?
So we do it any time of year. So you.
Okay. So you can just take advantage of this whenever.
Yep. So we'll have opportunities any time of year. We don't generally schedule specific days and times, but just ring up our office, make sure someone's available the day that you want to come in, and we'll make sure that gets tested.
Can they do that in DeWitt County or is it Macon County only?
So all three of the counties that I cover, I will come to you. So,
Great.
In Clinton, Monticello, and Decatur, you can come by our office. You can drop off a lid, or you can call me in advance and we'll schedule time where you can even watch the test get done. It's just a big bicycle pump. So I describe it. It's got a big foot pedal and blows a lot of air.
All right, very good. So keep that in mind as we get into, like we said, that canning season, getting that canner tested. Very good. Caitlin, let's wrap it up. I know you've got some classes coming up. What's on your calendar?
Yeah, so I'm going to be offering Serve It Safely, which is a volunteer-focused food handlers training. And so it's going to focus around food safety topics for volunteer groups. So food pantries, church groups that may do meals provided to the community, soup kitchens, and other places where volunteers are providing that that meal.
Mhm.
And it's going to be a 2-hour class. I've got classes scheduled for May the 5th in Monticello, May 14 in Decatur, and May 21st over at Lane Christian Church in DeWitt County.
Mhm.
And we'll offer those as $5 per person. So I am charging for this one, but it will give you a certificate that's the non-restaurant food handlers training that's good for 3 years
Mhm.
and is a great resource for any of your kitchens that may get inspected to make sure that you have staff and volunteers that are, knowledgeable about being food safe while they are preparing food for their guests.
All right, very good. So put those on the calendar, and I'm sure there's other classes and things going on through Extension. How do folks find those?
Yeah, so come find us on our website at the events page at go.illinois.edu/DMP for DeWitt, Macon, Payette, or you can follow us on Facebook and Instagram. Or if you want to join my email list, I can always add emails to that.
What are you emailing out these days?
So we do a lot of promotions on upcoming classes. So you can get those directly to your inbox rather than having to go search for them.
All right, very good. So again, how do folks get on that list?
So come find me at any of our offices, or you can send me a direct email. Our office page at go.illinois.edu/DMP has a staff page. So you can find my phone number and email there.
Very good.
Or give us a call at 217-877-6042.
Perfect. Caitlin, always good to see you. Thanks for coming out this morning.
thanks.
Very good. Caitlin Mellendorf, nutrition educator, University of Illinois Extension in DeWitt, Macon and Payette counties. My guest in studio. Again, the morning show streams to Facebook and YouTube. Brought to you by Peterson Insurance, your Pekin Insurance agent in Clinton. Network news comes your way next on the WHOW Morning Show. If you miss any of our morning show programming, be sure to check us out on Facebook and YouTube. We've got our interviews there. And if you want to hear snippets of many of our guests, just visit us on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. We've got some of the highlights of our interviews there. Again, network news joins now.
WHOW.
With SRN News, I'm Rich Thomason in Washington.